What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, world? Tap. I'm Khepresh. It's the Monday jump off number 56. Still rocking out, still going strong. It's just, we'll get right into it. But before we do that, I want to just say very happy solar return to my daughter. She'll be 3. So that's awesome. Something about fatherhood, man, that it's just exciting. It's nothing like the feeling, regardless of whatever's going on in the world or situations. It's really dope, to be a dad. So your conversations even change when you think about things like what you deem important, versus what is not important. Just I'll be thinking like so far into the future, like, man, I can't wait for her first recital, her first dance, prom. I can't wait to walk her down the aisle. I got to be extra super healthy, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something about when you think about that other human force, that other divine force, and where their life can go, and what they're destined to bloom into. Is really exciting, really, really exciting. So dope shout out to my daughter. I love you. Most importantly, I honor you and I adore you, and you are a divine being from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Always remember that. So now let's get into it. I normally do a reading, but I got an interesting question, so I'm gonna bring it up. And it is, why do people fail to rely on social media for private matters? Slash, could you talk about relying on social media as a means of support and validation? Okay. It's a heavy question in a lot of different ways. I think social media has become a lot of people's tools and outlet, right? Um, a lot of people don't necessarily have control of their life, of their existence, of their being. So the social media gives them the ability to connect with a lot of different people, and it can be used as a tool to turn people against another person, or just spread spread misinformation about somebody, or to encapsulate a situation without context to make you feel better with your own opinion. It's just kind of deep when I see certain people go on social media to discuss their in-home or family issues. It's strange sometimes, but then sometimes I guess it may be a good thing, depending on the situation, to let people know, like, no, I am I am not this person. I am trying to do, right by this person, but this individual is playing this role as if I'm not, or as if they are something that they are not. So I guess it is a two-way street. But to answer that question, I think people really got to just, lack of for better words, to be for real, people really just got to calm the fuck down with the social media. I know that sounds crazy, but everything don't have to be seen. Everything don't have to be, stated. Everything doesn't have to be um, talked about, whether it's family matters or friendship matters. A lot of the times, just you should have a good enough cipher of people around you that you could just pick up your phone and talk to someone. Like, I feel like no matter what I'm going through, I never have to self-destruct on social media, because right here in the palm of my hand, I got dope friends. I got dope family. um, dope clients that I can always ask a question or get good advice or to express myself, right? And it's just it's just interesting watching people kind of, hang themselves or self-destruct on social media in that way. I think it's a tool, it's an egomaniac tool. Like, I'm gonna get people against you, or I'm gonna have people perceive the world in the context that I want it to, or I want to see who perceives the world in this particular context. And that sometimes just isn't the case. Sometimes, um, okay, you get a bunch of likes on something, but that's not gonna change, the other person's patterns, right? So if there is something, say it's between two parents or two people who just got a divorce, and the other person doesn't want their kid on a particular platform or whatever. Well, one thing's for certain, and two things is for sure. You could just pick up the phone and call that person and really decipher that. But also too, who we married, who we had our kids by, who we had a kid by or kids by. Eventually, how they were is how they're gonna be. So if they were on social media heavy with everything, and you want your world private, you got to kind of know that that's got to kind of come with the intent of the situation, right? I think sometimes people use social media to play a false innocence to a situation that they already knew was a possibility, or that they were a part of when they met the person, right? Not saying that things don't blindside us. I'm just saying, there are small red flags and that individuals have. And we might not know the extreme of them at the time, but it doesn't mean that they won't come up, against you. So just got to accept it. And then sometimes, but I still think a lot of issues should just stay off of social media. Like, some people like seeing people miserable on these interwebs, because it makes them feel better about their life. They're like, oh, look at them over there, they have money or whatever, or they're this or what have you, and I have nothing except a couch and these cornflakes I eat, but I don't have this problem. So I want to dive all into this problem and this business. And instead of having like some business of my own, I get to really function on other people's misery. So that's my issue with looking for validation on social media. The only person you ever need to validate yourself to, especially if you're moving in righteous order. I can see if you're out here doing doofiness and foolishness, then you just off kilter. But if you're moving in your best, putting your best foot forward, the only validation you need is looking yourself in the mirror every day that you wake up, going like, I'm gonna do right by this situation. I'm gonna make right by this situation. I am going to become a better person by this said situation. And that's the only validation you ever will need in this world, is your self-validation. If you're moving in right direction, if you're taking the right options, if you have the right thought, and if you're moving in right character. Other than that, it's you just ego tripping, and you want other people to ego trip with you and to validate that ego or that force persona. And that's I guess that's just where the game is now. So it reminds me, like, when we first got on the internet, like I'm in that age group, that kind of like started this thing. And you had like MySpace, and then you had Black Planet, and then all the other stuff came. But it was interesting because like Black Planet, little did we know we were learning coding, like how to put the music on, which was cool. But you had these groups and you were meeting people. This is, before the word catfish, like people were just faking about who they were. It was crazy. It was crazy. We literally was the generation meeting strangers. Basically could have been kidnapped, all types of stuff. But for the most part, we all played the best role we could of ourselves, because we were young at that time, we in our teens, and the internet is filled, especially when you're in that mind frame of just playing that best role of yourself. Yeah, you liable to say anything on these interwebs and think it's cool, and it's really not. So I would just say, no, you don't need to go to social media about every problem you have. Please pick up the phone and call your grandma, granddad, or your close friends and hopefully hack it out. No, you do not have to disrespect the mother or father of your child, whether ex-husband or husband or boyfriend, girlfriend, or club night hookup, however it got there. Please just, get some counseling, try to get some older people in your lives to do mediation and just try to work things through, because it's a circus show on social media of disgruntled people trying to see your life crumble before you when you should be in control of your existence. Regardless of the situation, you should never lose control of your existence. That's first. That is first off. Remember, the strong may stumble, but they never crumble. And if you can remember that, and the reason we don't crumble is because we take control of our mind and what we can control and of our situation. We begin to do the things to mitigate the situation, or at least make it decent or better, right? So there's never a need to really diss someone and or put somebody on Front Street when you could just handle it with a phone call or with just speaking to them. So yeah, that's my thought on that. Thank you. I thought that was an awesome question, and I think that's all I got to say. I got moves to make, but I want everybody to have an incredible week, and most importantly, do something for yourself. Um, Even if it's just take a day to relax and get your thoughts together. Start that book, start that journal, collect grandma's recipes for the future generation. Go visit that old home. Um, Start painting again, start playing those instruments again that you used to play as a child. Definitely, but just take time for yourself to bring more joy to the world. So I guess that's my ultimate message this Monday. I'm Khepresh. It's been the Monday Jump Off number 56. You know, you got one life. You're your own king or queen in your life, and respect that. Peace.